Hey everyone, welcome to Jimmy John's Field for a thrilling matchup between the Utica Unicorns and the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Alongside Jason Ross Jr., I'm Jenna Rose here to bring you the call today on the USPBL Network. Jason, the Utica Unicorns are on top of the rankings right now. The Eastside Diamond Hoppers are 4 games back, so this could be very pivotal as we move forward in championship weekend. Taking the mound today is going to be left-hander Colton Williams for the Utica Unicorns, and for the Diamond Hoppers, we're going to see Andrew Verbrugge make his way to the mound.
Yeah, taking the mound in a big final weekend of August, as you mentioned there, G. Verbrugge's 36 innings pitched are the most of any Diamond Hopper pitcher so far throughout the course of the season. Through 7 starts, Verbrugge boasts a 3.89 ERA. However, G is trying to bounce back from one of his rougher starts of the season so far this year on August 8th when he allowed a season-high 7 earned runs against the Beavers. When the right-hander has had success so far this year, the curveball has been a very key part of the equation. That pitch in particular is one he pointed out to me earlier this year as being tremendously improved. In his words, he likes to pair that with the 4-seam fastball, the 2-seam fastball, and the changeup. So he'll hope to keep the Utica lineup off balance today, G.
That curveball was absolute dynamite during his last appearance, but switching over to the left-handed side of things in Colton Williams. Now, he did have a bit of a nagging injury when he entered the USPBL, which is why this is only going to be his 4th start of the season. 5th appearance, however, he did a phenomenal job working his way into 4 innings the last time he took the mound, going up against the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, where they have a pretty potent lineup, Jason, when they're stringing hits together. Only run that was allowed when Colton Williams was on the mound was Connor Bagneski, dubbed Pesky Bagneski, but through those 4 innings of work, he was able to strike out 3 different batters. Today, what I'm really looking to see from him is to just have a bit more velocity on that fastball. We've really been seeing that in the mid-80s. Back in his college days, before that pesky injury, he was able to notch just a little bit higher, so that's going to be key today, as long as sprinkling in his curve and his change, and he's been working on his slider, so with his other pitches, he's really comfortable going to them in any particular count. But today, they are going to be the away team, the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. So, Jason, let's take a look at that lineup.
Leading off, as per usual, in the Hoppers lineup is Ben McConnell. Batting second is Colton Horner. He'll do the catching today. Pedro Castellano will play at second base and bat third. Felix Abaret has the cleanup spot today. He'll also be the DH. Greg Vaughn Jr. will slide down to the 5 spot and play in left field. Joseph Burke will be at first base and batting sixth. Will Crushena starts off the bottom third in the 7 spot and playing in right field. Christian De Los Santos will be at the hot corner and bat 8th, while Adam De La Cruz rounds things out, batting 9th and playing at short.
For the Utica Unicorns, leading off at first base is going to be Frankie Luxka. Batting second, patrolling right field is going to be Colby Johnson. One of the stronger bats that we see in this Utica Unicorns lineup, Drew Galassi. He will be batting third and out in center field. Batting fourth, the designated hitter for the Unicorns is going to be Noah Childress, who has been extremely consistent as of late. Isaac Phillips right behind him, batting fifth out in left field. Donovan Curiel, typical as we see as shortstop, he will be batting sixth today. Tucker Rayburn catching here today for Williams. He will be batting seventh. John Hodo will be at second base again, another hitter who has been very consistent. And Kevin Lambert will be rounding out the lineup, manning the hot corner. You will not want to miss it. Utica Unicorns versus the Eastside Diamond Hoppers tonight, 7:05.
Throughout your life, from big moments to ones well-earned, we're your financial guardian angel. Alliance Catholic Credit Union.
Your neighbors are going to be jealous when they see you're getting a new Connecticut water system. Say goodbye to hard water problems. No more spots on your glassware. Your laundry will feel and smell better. Your hair and skin will look and feel better. Say goodbye to hard water problems and say hello to great tasting crystal clear water with CGC Water.
Welcome into the USPBL Network on Mardi Gras night. A wonderful Thursday night here at Jimmy John's Field alongside former Lawrence Tech outfielder Jenna Rose. I'm Jason Rush Jr. Pleasure to have you alongside us tonight for the Hoppers and Unicorns. Good matchup. Hoppers at 16-5 on the year. Unicorns at 21-12. The two best records in the USPBL clashing on this Thursday evening. Just 4 games separating the two teams as we head down the final stretch of the regular season. Utica has just a few games left on their regular season schedule. Eastside has 4 games left remaining on their schedule until the playoffs begin in early September. So big implications when it comes to standings as we head down the final few games here. And just running through the lineups for you tonight before we get rolling. And the national anthem settles in. It'll be Ben McConnell leading off for Eastside and playing in center field. Colton Horner will bat second and do the catching. Pedro Castellano will bat third and play at second base. Felix Abaret has the DH role today. He'll be the cleanup hitter for Eastside. Greg Vaughn Jr. will bat fifth. Joseph Burke follows him, batting sixth and playing at first base. Will Krushina will play in right field and bat seventh. Christian De Los Santos will bat eighth and play at third base. Adam De La Cruz will bat eighth and play shortstop. Beg your pardon, bat ninth, rounding out the lineup and playing at shortstop. And once again, our proud sponsors for today are Everest, an authentic Catholic school of distinction, Everest Academy. AAA, Ascension, Belfort Property Restoration, Budweiser, DTE, Fifth Third Bank, Jimmy John's Gourmet Sandwiches, Macomb Community College, Discover, Connect, Advance, McLaren Macomb, Metro Detroit Chevy Dealers, Chevy drives the Motor City, Pepsi, Scott's, let's get to the yard, Valpak, UWM, United Wholesale Mortgage, the #1 wholesale lender in the nation. We'll step aside on the USPBL Network. More coming your way on the other side of the break.
Elite athletes want to be closer to what fuels them. So we built them a gym behind the milk section.
What's going on here?
Oh, they're training.
What? In the milk section? What is happening? What you guys are doing here?
I've always had milk in my fridge, but I've never really trained in a fridge surrounded by milk. I feel like I've been able to level up my training and do things that others haven't.
No, they're training back there. It's a full gym.
Hey guys, keep it up.
Being close and nearby milk, it's how I hydrate, it's how I recover. It's important to be in arm's reach.
While credit cards help pay for everyday expenses, carrying a balance each month can be tough on your budget. Since interest rates compound daily, The amount you owe gets bigger and bigger each day the balance goes unpaid. A Green Path debt management program helps you regain control of your finances by lowering credit card interest rates, reducing your monthly payments, stopping late fees, improving overall financial health, paying off credit card debt in 5 years or less. Our caring certified counselors work with you to understand your financial picture and support you on the steps to get control of high-interest debt and achieve financial health. Call 844-572-5921 and get control of high-interest credit card debt today.
About the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
Another look at Jimmy John's Field. Eastside and Utica going head-to-head today in an Eastside division matchup. Our team comparison today, again, Unicorns at 21-12, Diamond Hoppers at 16-15. You run down the line there of the offensive stats. These two squads have been hot offensively in the month of August. Eastside has really bounced back in August, 5-3 in this month after going 3-6 in July. So they've practically flipped the script around in that particular category. For the Unicorns, they've been perhaps the most potent offensive team all season long. Just up and down that lineup, they have been dangerous and switching it around once again today in terms of the order for Jim Essie and squad. So it'll be interesting to see how they play out. Gee, we just talked off camera there about the middle of that East Side lineup featuring Greg Vaughn Jr. and some of the names that will certainly need to step up today in order to pull off the win over Utica.
Well, when we look back to the last time these two teams squared off, Unicorns pulled through with a 5-3 win, but dialing into the performance of Christian De Los Santos and Greg Vaughn Jr. both went 2 for 3. Christian De Los Santos brought in a run as well, and he really was on fire. You could see there that he was timing up the ball very well, barreling it up, sending line drives into the outfield. And hey, with Greg Vaughn Jr., we've seen power all season long. 4 home runs, 2 triples, 3 doubles, and typically someone who has some hard outs, but as we've noted, he has 26 walks to 20 strikeouts. So finding that consistency and being able to barrel up the ball as well is going to be key, because definitely all the players, when we look at this Hoppers lineup, are able to contribute.
Ben McConnell will lead things off for the Hoppers against the Unicorns lefty Colton Williams in their Mardi Gras uniforms today.
Yeah, definitely a good look. I love the mix of colors there, and one of the players wearing that is left-hander Colton Williams taking the mound today. This is going to be his 4th start of the season. In the pregame show, we talked about that nagging injury that he had, so that kept him from having more starts than what he would have liked to see this season. But standing at 6'5", 235 pounds, we're really going to see his curve and change complement that mid-80s fastball. Flashes of the slider here and there. That's still a pitch that's under development. But as we've noted, it's going to be key to keep these Hoppers off balance.
Williams missed the entire month of July with that UCL injury that stemmed from his college days at University of Oklahoma Science and Arts.
And he said that was the first time that he's actually been injured during the season coming here to USPBL, so that was really hard to come over.
The fastball velocity that Jen had talked about in the mid-80s was pre-injury, kind of low 90s, 88, 89, 90 mile per hour range, but He's planning to get back up to that point. That's what these starts are about right now for him, as that pitch is lined back up the middle for a leadoff base hit off the bat of Ben McConnell.
Williams just left it a little too sweet over the plate there for McConnell. We've seen so far that McConnell is very consistent on base, can easily find his way down to first, and there he saw what he liked and was able to barrel it up to get on.
Brings up Colton Horner, batting second in this Hoppers lineup. Takes the first pitch strike from Williams.
McConnell has the speed over at first base, but it's going to be a little bit challenging to steal on a lefty.
10 stolen bases for McConnell so far this season. That leads the Hoppers on 11 attempts. Here he goes. Throw to second is in time. So just the second time so far this season that McConnell has been caught stealing. The aggressive base running comes back to bite him on that occasion, and now the bases are empty.
Well, McConnell is certainly a player that has the green light whenever he finds his way to the base path, but they're able to get the pick quick and throw him out at second.
Brings up the catcher, Colton Horner. Oh, one pitch is flared into right over the glove of Hodo. So back-to-back hits off Williams to lead things off for the Hoppers lineup.
These batters are certainly seeing what they want when they step into the box. Both have capitalized in a fashion of sending line drives out into right center. Horner has that plate discipline that he's able to develop by his experience as a catcher. And that'll send up Pedro Castellano, currently hitting .217, and another lefty to find his way into the box.
One of two lefties in the top three of that Eastside lineup today. Ben McConnell the other. Castellano pops up the first pitch. Luxka ranging over. A lefty himself. He'll run out of room as a fan gets a souvenir.
Definitely a lot of fun things to take home from the USPBL, Jason. I mean, today we smashed some slushies.
Those are really good. Very refreshing on this 90-degree day. As it was a nice day, but a toasty day.
Oh, yeah, it's nice to have the windows open here in the booth.
Williams, 6 pitches in. Castellano, the Davenport, Florida native. At .351 his senior year at Southeastern University in Lakeland, Florida. Awaiting a 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, now 1-2. With Colton Horner at first base, Ben McConnell reached by way of a leadoff single but was caught stealing at second. Catcher who threw him out behind the plate is Tucker Rayburn for Utica today. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Williams trying to work Castellano outside of the plate there. Pedro's able to foul it off. 2 strikes now.
When you talk to the coaches about Castellano, they mention his gap-to-gap approach. Fouls another pitch off. Batting .207 entering today. These two teams met up on Sunday. That was a 5-3 win for Utica. Castellano was hitless in that game. Awaiting a 1-2. Lifts this high in the air. Center field, Drew Galacio waiting on it for out number 2.
Castellano was just underneath most of Williams' pitches there. Kudos on Williams' part to be able to get ahead in the count, which is extremely crucial with a runner on first.
You mentioned working ahead on the part of Williams because of that injury. His innings had been limited in the early stages of the season. Entering his last start, the most he had gone was 3 innings, but topped that last week, making it 4. First pitch to Felix Abarrete, just off the outside part of the plate. But he's hoping that number continues to climb down this final stint of the regular season and into the playoffs. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Abarrete swings and misses. Now 1-1.
This is definitely a batter that you want to bring your A game up against. Abarrete has been absolutely hot in the box. We've seen already that so far this season twice he's recorded home runs in back-to-back games. Snuck his way up to 8 home runs, tied with Galassi.
He was one of just 3 hoppers to collect a hit in that 5-3 loss to Utica on Sunday. Zach Jones took the mound for the Unicorns, pitched a complete game. Allowed 3 runs, but went the full 7 innings on that 7-inning Sunday game. 2-1 pitch to Abarrete. Just a tad high, now 3-1, so a hitter's count for one of the best hitters in the USPBL right now, and Felix Abarrete. Native of California, Northern California, grew up loving Barry Bonds and the San Francisco Giants, so he's a fan of what they're doing right now. First team to 80 wins. He's awaiting a 3-1. Went to South Alabama State for his college baseball. Big payoff pitch for Williams with the runner at first, and he walked him.
Yeah, we could see there Williams was missing on that outside corner of the plate during the at-bat with Abarrete. But now 2 runners on, and that sends up another batter that can really display that extra base power. We talked about it heading into this game, Jason. Greg Vaughn Jr. Father was a silver slugger with the Padres.
And Greg Vaughn Sr. is his dad. So Greg Vaughn Jr. grew up loving the game and watching his dad, who competed in the World Series with the Padres back in 1998, were swept by the Yankees that year. He takes the first pitch strike, a guy who, in our conversation before the game, Jenna, we talked about the fact that he's such a good all-around hitter. Not only does he have the power, 4 homers on the year, but also has such an eye at the plate. 26 walks, team leading in that category. 0-1 pitch.
Along with those 26 walks, he does have 20 strikeouts. So he is very aggressive when he's at the plate, does have the eye up there to avoid swinging at some bad pitches, but something where you really want to see that power start to consistently make its way to each at-bat.
Here's the 1-1. Lifts it into foul ground. There's plenty of foul ground here at Jimmy John's Field, and running out of territory is Kevin Lambert, who's playing at third base today for the Unicorns. Defense from left to right on the infield behind Colton Williams. You have Kevin Lambert at third, Donovan Curiel at short, John Hodo at second base as per usual, and Frankie Luxka at first. Isaac Phillips out in left field, Drew Galassi in center, and Colby Johnson in right today for this Unicorns team, which can match their win total from last year at 22 if they can come away with a victory tonight. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Greg Vaughn Jr., little tapper, and that will die foul.
Vaughn Jr. was just on top of it there, rolling foul. In moments like these, you still want to be reactionary, yet have a game plan in your approach. It's always difficult with 2 strikes, especially when you're going up against a pitcher that has multiple pitches that they're comfortable going with at any count, especially as a put-away pitch. And we know that Williams has his curve and change, slider here and there.
And those 2 pitches becoming all the more important for him with the velocity not quite where he knows it will be eventually, 1-2. There's the strike call that he was looking for to retire the side. So a few base runners reach. However, Williams wiggles his way out of it. We have our sweetheart of the game coming up as per usual in the middle of the first. JJ the Field General, brought to you by Thrifty Florists. Shannon, our lucky winner today, alongside JJ, who is absolutely the best on National Dog Day.
Yes, happy National Dog Day. Had a few posts out about Jack today.
I saw that on the State Champs account. I loved how it said human, generose.
Yeah. They did a good job.
Well, we'll step aside. Once again, thanks to our partner, Thrifty Florists.
When people keep repeating that you'll never fall in love, when everybody keeps retreating, but you can't seem to get enough, let my love open the door. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door to your heart. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door to your heart.
Heading into the bottom half of the first inning, this Utica lineup is due up, and the pitcher they'll face is Andrew Verbrugge.
Yep, definitely one of the taller pitchers here on this Eastside Diamond Hopper staff. When we dive into Verbrugge's arsenal, we're going to see the utilization of his four-seam, two-seam, curve, and change. But wow, that curveball, Jason, I believe it was 2 appearances ago, was absolute dynamite when he was throwing that against pitchers, and that's a pitch that he's comfortable going to in any count, and it's a pitch that he's been working on over the last year or so and has seen tremendous improvements on, and especially going up against a lineup like the Unicorns, extremely potent, able to put the ball in play and make things happen on the base paths. It's going to be all the more necessary to be able to command and execute.
Verbrugge will face Luxka, Johnson, Galassi, the 3 due up for Utica at the top of the order. Verbrugge, the 23-year-old, making his 8th start of the season. There's a look at Frankie Luxka, second game back in the leadoff spot after they slid him down to the 8th spot last weekend. Here's the first pitch from Verbrugge. Swung on and cranked to first where Joseph Burke resides. Verbrugge will cover the bag for a quick out number 1.
You know, that has to be a breath of fresh air for Verbrugge. When we dive into the stats of Frankie Luxka, he leads this team with his on-base percentage, .413, draws 29 walks so far this season. He is an absolute threat whenever he's in the box. So literally on the first pitch, to have him ground out in that fashion has to be a confidence boost for Verbrugge.
Rare feels like an understatement to see Luxka go down in one pitch. I mean, that he typically is working deep counts and long at-bats, drawing things out. Colby Johnson steps in now, batting second today. But that certainly is a big first out against Luxka. Johnson has a lot of power in that 2 spot. 1-1 count now on him.
He certainly does. He gets things done both offensively and defensively here for this Unicorns team.
Really good right fielder. He's back there today. Out of Lewisburg, Virginia. Favorite player is Mike Trout. Can't blame him there. Went to the University of Charleston. Here's a 1-2. Late break on that pitch, and it got him.
Wow, Verbrugge is getting it done here today, retiring the 2 major threats in this Unicorns lineup. That 1-2 punch in Luxka and Johnson.
Now,
Oh, we talked about that curveball previously, Jason,
Yep.
and right there for strike 3, that's a pitch you want to keep an eye out on, and these batters know that it's in his arsenal. But seeing it and getting it done are two different situations.
That's true. And Drew Galassi steps in now. It's a pitch that he'll throw on any count, in any situation, at any time in the game. Here he comes with the 0-1. Bottom fell out of that pitch, 84 miles per hour. Count now 0-2. So Verbrugge really still mixing things up. As you see the defensive alignment for the Hoppers today. Behind Verbrugge, Christian De Los Santos at third, De La Cruz at short. Pedro Castellano at second, Joseph Burke at first. The outfield consists of Greg Vaughn Jr. in left, Ben McConnell in center field, and Will Krushena in right field. 1-2 pitch with 2 outs, bottom of the first. And a nice stop in the dirt from Colton Horner.
Did you see how hard Verbrugge was cheesing in that photo we had up here for the defense? I love it.
Well, if you go back and look at his college pick from Hillsdale College, he's got a bright smile there, too. Really nice guy. And see, just say that. He is a wonderful guy. We chatted with him earlier in the season. Wrapping up his first pro year. Native of West Michigan, out in Byron Center, which is just outside of Grand Rapids. Count is run full now on Galassi, who's an Illinois native. Here's the payoff pitch. Couldn't quite find the outside corner he was looking for, and Drew Galassi has a walk.
We could see there he was really trying to pound Galassi inside, then try to work his way outside, but Galassi knew that he was going to face a challenge when he stepped into the box. He tried to drop the bunt right away because he said, hey, I have the speed, I need to get on, and this is a pitcher that he's struggled against in the past, and so far, Galassi hasn't been as consistent as we've seen him be earlier in the season.
Brings up Noah Childress. It's been a lethal 3-4 punch in the Utica lineup all season long. We saw it last weekend. Childress in that 4 spot, Galassi in the 3 spot. Noah Childress batting .245 with 4 homers. He lifts this pitch into right field. It'll get down, and the 3-4 punch strikes again.
Yeah, Childress has been getting it done every time he takes a swing. Very consistent as of late. Previously was 5 for 6, extending that here. But man, as you were saying, Jason, just diving into Galassi's stats, he leads the team in batting average, runs, RBI, hits, slugging percentage, home runs, doubles. I mean, the list goes on, and Childress is right there behind him. Second highest slugging percentage at .402.
Yeah, you name it, Galassi probably leads it. Here's the first pitch to Isaac Phillips, fouled back. Childress, to your point, G, now has 6 singles in his last 8 at-bats. So most, I think, early in the season labeled him as a power threat, but you're just seeing the consistency of getting the job done no matter how matter the result comes out. Here's the 0-1. This is tapped for Brugge. Will fire to first in time. Runners advance. And that'll do it for this bottom half of the first. Well, Childress and Galassi reach. For Brugge wiggles his way out of trouble, much like we saw Colton Williams do. We've played 1 full here at Jimmy John's Field. No score between the Hoppers and the Unicorns.
Elite athletes want to be closer to what fuels them. So we built them a gym behind the milk section.
What's going on here?
Oh, they're training.
What? In the milk section? What is happening?
What you guys are doing here?
I've always had milk in my fridge, but I've never really trained in a fridge surrounded by milk. I feel like I've been able to level up my training and do things that others haven't.
No, they're training back there. It's a full gym.
Hey guys, keep it up.
Being close and nearby milk, it's how I hydrate, it's how I recover. It's important to be at arm's reach.
Lefty for the Unicorns, Colton Williams, faced 5 batters in the first inning. Wrapped it up with a strikeout of Greg Vaughn Jr. It'll be Joe Burke, Will Crucena, and Christian De Los Santos. The 3 due up for Eastside in the second inning. 21 pitches in for Williams.
The Hoppers left 2 on base in the first inning, and that's something that you cannot do given how quickly the Unicorns can build on a momentum if they get a spark going. We've seen that in the past, and statistically, in the game of baseball, you just want to get runs on the board early.
Well, this Hoppers lineup, the offensive success has been there of late. They've won 4 out of their last 5. That loss on Sunday to Utica that we mentioned snapped a 4-game winning streak, which was tied for their longest winning streak of the season, previously set back in July. And in each of those 4 wins, they scored at least 4 runs. Here's the 1-0. Lifted high in the air. John Hodo calling for it and finding it for out number 1.
Hodo able to camp under it there. Burke, we've seen his display of power. Made a splash when he first came into the USPBL, but in instances like that with a swing in the manner that he has it, most of the time it's kind of a line drive or pop up.
Here comes Will Crucena. Quickly down 0-1.
A Hopper who has a lot of pull side pop in his bat.
Crucena batting .226 entering today. 1 homer, 4 driven in. Here's the 0-2. And he goes down in 3 pitches.
Very efficient out for Williams, and that's something that he's going to need to build on this momentum and keep working deeper into the game. Last time we saw him on the mound, that was the longest he's been able to stay in, 4 innings of work, hoping that he can expand on that today here at Jimmy John's.
Look at the defense behind him. Kevin Lambert again at third base. Donovan Curiel at shortstop. John Hodo at second. Frankie Luxka at first. As Christian De Los Santos fouls off the first pitch he sees from Williams. The outfield consists of Isaac Phillips in left, Drew Galassi in center field, and Colby Johnson in right. Colton Williams began pitching at the age of 9. As this pitch is lifted to right field, down the line, chasing after it is Johnson. He'll watch it go foul.
Man, Johnson gives every last drop of effort when he's chasing for foul balls. Really someone who gives his all out in right field and is a perfect candidate for that position given his speed, arm strength, and just confidence.
Yeah, he may have taken some extra base hits away from this Hoppers team this past Sunday, just off his play and athleticism in right.
Yeah, he's definitely made some stellar catches.
De Los Santos goes down looking. Strikeout number 3 of the day for Colton Williams. And he retires the side in order in the second inning. We'll step aside on the USPBL network.
They call me Prospects. Since the day I was born as a diver's watch, the challengers of the world have taught me many things. Life is not a numbers game. It's about challenging ourselves. No matter what happens, just follow your heart. These pioneers drive our generation forward. Not by setting records, but by never giving up. Keep going forward. Prospects.
Available at Lucido Fine Jewelry.
I enjoy renovating my home, so getting materials with my Chevy Silverado is a daily trip. But as the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever, it's perfect for all my projects. And with the most functional bed of any pickup, plus the power up-down tailgate, my Silverado helps me with everything I need. Of course, a little assist from a friend doesn't hurt.
Lease a 2021 Silverado Custom Crew Cab for just $199 a month. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
Welcome back to the USPBL Network. Andrew Verbrugge taking over for his second inning of work. First lasted 14 pitches, 5 batters. He'll face Donovan Curiel, Tucker Rayburn, and John Hodo in the 6, 7, 8 spots. Due up out of the Unicorn lineup.
We'll continue to sing our praises for Verbrugge's curveball. Definitely a pivotal pitch here in today's game to hopefully, in his mind, keep these Unicorns silent.
He told me about that curveball earlier this season. If you can throw it first pitch or late in what a hitter might expect to be more of a fastball count, then you keep the opposing lineup off balance that much more. Again, Donovan Curiel, Tucker Rayburn, and John Hodo due up for the Unicorns. Verbrugge grew up a big Justin Verlander fan. Fires the first pitch to Curiel, and it's a strike called.
How can you not grow up a huge Verlander fan?
It's impossible.
Man, I feel like every time I go to Comerica Park, even now, there's just a sea of Verlander jerseys.
Able to get Curiel fishing there. 0-2. The kind of guy whose name, even when he moves on to another organization, just hangs around in perpetuity. Here's the 0-2.
Curiel fouling off the 0-2 pitch. He's someone that so far this season he could be plugged into virtually any spot in this lineup and produce. Very consistent at the plate.
He's in the 6th spot today. Verbrugge looking for out number 1, and that pulled the first baseman Burke off the bag. The speed of Curiel came to his aid and able to beat that throw out to make it a first.
That was a nice catch by Burke, but you could see there De Los Santos just left it a little high in the air.
Curiel is one of the fastest guys in the league, too, so puts pressure on you in more ways than one. Now he's on the base paths at first. Rayburn will step into the batter's box now, doing the catching today.
Well, looking at Verbrugge, too, in past games, he's someone who was not shy to throw down to first literally multiple times with the same runner at the plate.
Verbrugge said he worked on his stretch position in the offseason, made it more of an upright position. Here's the 1-0 as it's flared back. Verbrugge retired the first 2 batters quickly in inning number 1, Luxka and Colby Johnson. Then walked Drew Galassi, allowed a single to Childress before inducing a ground out to Phillips. The leadoff runner is on for the first time on the Utica side today, and Donovan Curiel. Verbrugge lets the 1-1 fly. Strike 2 as that pitch is fouled off by Rayburn.
Yeah, it's still hard to kind of reflect the stats on what we've seen from Rayburn so far. Has only been up to the plate 22 times. Has notched 6 hits in that span.
And batting .273 so far. Florida native who wrapped up his college career at Florida A&M after beginning it at Tallahassee Community College. A late season addition to this Unicorns lineup. Down in the count 1-2 with a runner at first and nobody out. Here's the pitch. High, 2-2.
Nice snag there by Horner to make sure the ball didn't go by.
And definitely one of the better defensive catchers in the USPBL so far this year. Has offensive capabilities as well. Here's the 2-2. Curiel takes off. That is fouled away.
Man, can you imagine running that fast, Jason?
I could not.
Because I cannot fathom it.
It's a blur. You look down for a sec, you look up, and he's over at second. Gosh, athletic guy. Does a lot of footwork drills in the offseason. Known for his defensive play at shortstop, but Curiel has been one of the better contact hitters as well in the USPBL. 2-2. Down in the dirt. And immediately there, you saw Colton Horner kind of look to first. Just to make sure.
Yeah, but what we were talking about with Curiel, that really does play into his success at short, and we can really see that in his range.
Rayburn's awaiting a payoff pitch. Stays alive. These are the tough, grinded out type of ABs that we've seen from Utica all season long. 11 pitches so far for Brugge in this inning with nobody out and just 2 batters in after he only threw 14 in inning number 1. But this is what the Utica lineup does to you. They get the pitch counts up. Here's the 3-2 once again. Little high hopper, long run here for Castellano, and he was able to shovel in time. Curiel advances to second. So a runner in scoring position with John Hodo up to bat in the 8th spot.
Good work on Rayburn's part. Curiel now at second base. We've talked about the wheels that he has, and John Hodo has been extremely consistent as of late at the plate, even though he's someone who's more towards the tail end of this Unicorns lineup, but that really just speaks volumes about every player being able to get the job done when they're on.
Now 1 out and a runner at second for Hodo. That pitch gets away. Prime opportunity for Curiel to take a free 90 feet to third.
Very crucial with a runner on, especially in scoring position now, to execute and have command over your pitches.
You mentioned it, G. You can't give this Utica team anything. That pitch got away from Horner. Again, there was 1 walk back in the first inning from Verbrugge, but cleaned things up quickly. 1-0 pitch. Couldn't quite grab the outside corner. Now 2-0 for Hodo. That is foul. Hodo batting .274 entering today with 7 RBIs. He'd love to add number 8 to his stat category with Curiel at third base. Here's the 2-1 as Verbrugge is working quickly as per usual.
That .274 batting average, second highest on this Unicorns team.
He's really picked it up down the final stretch of the season, much like his college season this past year, where he hit .394 over his final 10 games at Benedictine College. This is on the ground. De La Cruz is at shortstop today. That will bring home a run. Hodo out on the sac ground out as the Unicorns score the first run of the day, up 1-0.
That was a nice play by De La Cruz over at short. That ball came in hard. He kept his hand down, or he kept his head down, got his hand on the ball and was able to make the throw. Nothing you could do about Curiel getting a good jump on that grounder. Words are hard, Jason.
It's okay, G. Still got an entire weekend to go. Kevin Lambert steps in now. 2 down. 1-0 count on the number 9 hitter today for Utica. Donovan Curiel scores the first run of the day. So Lambert fouls off the 1-0.
Yeah, so far Lambert strikes out just under half the time that he makes his way up to the plate.
One pitch to Lambert. This is bounced back up the middle into center field, and he will extend this inning with a 2-out single.
Well, I think you could hear me here in the booth. You could see there, grounders up the middle on most occasions can get the job done. That would have been a phenomenal play by Verbrugge if he was able to get his mitt on it, but you could see there he kind of had to do a bit of a twirl. And that'll bring up leadoff batter in Frankie Luxka.
Mentioned Luxka had a quick ground out on just 1 pitch back in the first, which is a rarity for him. That's more like it, taking a first pitch on the outside part of the plate. Luxka typically, when you examine him, 2-0 counts, 2-1 counts, more often than not working ahead or running it full. He's back in the leadoff spot for the second consecutive game. And here is the 2-0 count that he's more used to.
He's laying off of the pitches that are outside, but in previous conversations that we've had with Luxka, Jason, he talks about how well he can see the ball coming out of the pitcher's hand. So in that first at-bat, he must have just seen the pitch he wanted.
Lifts the 2-1 to center field. Ben McConnell is there today for out number 3. So Utica gets one to cross the plate. In the bottom of the second, we've played 2, and Utica's out to a 1-0 start on the USPBL network.
I'm all out of love for my old insurance. Switch to insurance. They're saving me so much. They covered my car and bundled with my home. I feel so secure to say I love insurance.
Hello, AAA Insurance.
Goodbye, insurance. Hello.
Insurance.
Get a quote and save up to 20%.
While credit cards help pay for everyday expenses, carrying a balance each month can be tough on your budget. Since interest rates compound daily, the amount you owe gets bigger and bigger each day the balance goes unpaid. A Green Path debt management program helps you regain control of your finances by lowering credit card interest rates, reducing your monthly payments, stopping late fees, improving overall financial health, paying off credit card debt in 5 years or less. Our caring certified counselors work with you to understand your financial picture and support you on the steps to get control of high-interest debt and achieve financial health. Call 844-572-5921 and get control of high-interest credit card debt today.
Welcome back to Mardi Gras night on the USPBL network. Colton Williams worked to 1-2-3 second inning. Back out for the top of the third. Adam De La Cruz, the number 9 hitter, followed up by the 1 and 2 spots in Ben McConnell and Colton Horner for Eastside. Hoppers now trailing 1-0 after Curiel was brought home by way of a sac ground out off the bat of John Hodo in the bottom of the second for Utica. Unicorns are 8-3 against Eastside this season. Actually started the season series out 4-0 against the Hoppers.
32 pitches for Williams to get through 2 innings. Has been very efficient, especially in that second. 2 strikeouts and a pop fly.
Again, Williams just trying to build on start after being stretched out more so in his last start than he was in any of the previous 2. This is his 4th start of the season as he faces Adam De La Cruz here. Missed the entire month of July due to a UCL injury that he suffered during the latter stages of his college career at Oklahoma Science and Arts. 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed. He was a very good college pitcher at Science and Arts when 34-12 was the team record his senior season, a school that just is perpetually good. Williams made 13 starts, finished the season with a 12-1 record. 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed. Now ahead 1-2. But it was utilized a lot his senior campaign. 78 2/3 innings pitched, which were the most on a really good staff. Again, started pitching at age 9. Has loved it ever since. And he gets the first batter to strike out. His 4th K of the game.
Williams working low in the zone on Adam De La Cruz. Someone you can tell that really has good preparation heading into the game is Williams. Takes the time to study these bats, and especially from overcoming an injury, Jason, he's had a lot of time to work with other pitchers, talk about what to expect from different lineups, and as of right now today, capitalize.
Working confidently and quickly right now. Goes to the breaking ball there at 76 miles per hour on the first pitch to Ben McConnell, as Williams now starts his second journey through the Eastside order. He's now struck out the last 3 batters that he's faced, dating back to the second inning. And 3 out of the last 4 overall. And beg your pardon, 4 out of the last 5 overall. McConnell lifts that pitch hard to right field, but into the glove of Colby Johnson.
Man, you know when you hit the ball into right, you can't really get it by Johnson. That was good pop, a good display of pull side power there for McConnell, but just fell right into his glove.
McConnell led off the game with a single, lines out his second time up to bat. Another quick 2 outs for Colton Williams, as Colton Horner of Eastside steps into the batter's box in the number 2 spot today.
That was a good cut there by Horner. So far this season, he has 2 home runs and a double to his name when we talk about extra base power. That's only in a span of 35 at-bats. But so far, so good for Horner.
Horner batting second again today, where Juan Lopez Rios had been prior to departing the lineup once again after missing the entire month of July due to that hand fracture. Now 1-2 counts on Horner. Here's the pitch. Caught on and missed, and add strikeout number 5 into the books for Colton Williams, who looks very confident right now. Back-to-back 1-2-3 frames for Williams. That was our third out of the game. A look at JJ the Field General. Bringing the water to the umpire, brought to you by the Michigan First Credit Union here at Jimmy John's Field.
No better way to celebrate National Dog Day than watch JJ do his thing.
It's JJ's day, it's his world, and we're just living in it. Literally, he lives here, which we love.
Literally.
Yeah. A look at Lancelot, the Unicorns mascot, and the kids race the mascot today. Jackson is behind him trying to make up some ground.
Man, that must be hard when the competition gets a head start like that. 5 seconds is a long time.
It didn't feel super fair, but Jackson doesn't care. He's on the move. He's got the Utica hat on as well. Gotta love it.
Johnny said beats Lance by a lot.
Well, speaking of kids and families, they honored the host families prior to the game today that take such a key role in the lives of these players throughout the summer. And, G, you have a unique perspective on this game because you played college softball for the host family of the man on the mound right now, Andrew Verbrugge.
Yes, at Lawrence Tech, head coach Karen Baird was here with her family. Man, she has the cutest son. His name is Henry, and he loves the game of baseball, is obviously going to dominate as he gets older, given that his mom is a very talented coach. So it must be so fun having someone like Verbrugge in the household. Coach Baird said he's staying in the basement right now, but, you know, it has to be a nice basement.
Love it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, just in conversations with Verbrugge, he seems like such a nice guy, and you know, that's something that's really special about being a host family, too, especially when you have kids who love the game. They literally have a professional baseball player living in their house. So it's fun to go in the backyard, play wiffle ball, play catch, and come to these games here at USPBL.
That's got to be so fun.
Yeah, they have to be rooting for the Hoppers tonight, that's for sure.
Almost kind of like an older brother to look up to throughout the summer. Bottom of the third underway as Verbrugge draws a swing and a miss from Colby Johnson.
Johnson struck out looking in his last at-bat in the first.
Reaches out, pokes the 0-1 in the air. Will Krushina is there. Oh, he bobbled it. And Johnson will take an extra base.
Wow, we could see there in Krushina that he was just lowering his mitt as its ball was coming down. I'm not sure if he tried to close it too soon, so it kind of did like an odd little like snow cone on top, or if he just didn't hustle in time to beat the ball, because that's what you would like to do, is get there before the ball drops. But Johnson certainly took advantage of that, making his way down to second base effortlessly.
First error of the day from either side puts him in scoring position. Verbrugge 37 pitches in. And the second consecutive inning that he's had to work with runners in scoring position. I should say at least a runner in scoring position with nobody out. And now dealing with Drew Galassi. A 1-1 counts on, as Jenna noted earlier in the broadcast, the man who leads Utica in practically every offensive category so far this year. He's tied for the league lead in home runs with 8. On the flip side of the equation, Felix Abaret is the man he's tied with. He has 8 in the Utica lineup today. This is punched to center field. Deep, but not quite deep enough. Ben McConnell will make the catch. Tagging up and heading to third is Colby Johnson, and he'll get there.
Well, we haven't seen a deep fly out from Galassi in a minute there. It was nice to see him barrel up the ball and send it to straightaway center. Johnson, though, has the wheels, is able to get to third in time. Chatting with Essien as we speak. But that sets the stage for Noah Childress, who, as we talked about, 6 for 8 right now.
Singled in his first time up to bat. Takes the first pitch strike. Now 6 singles in his last 8 at-bats. Last time he was up, he moved Drew Galassi over to second base with that single. He'd love to bring him home here.
Was able to draw and swing and miss with a fastball. Then missed on the outside corner of the plate there for the first ball in this count.
Count now 2-2. Galassi's, beg your pardon, Childress's 15 RBIs is second on the team entering today, in large part because he has been hitting behind Drew Galassi throughout the course of this season. Here's the 2-2. Lofted to shallow center field. Galassi will tag up and head home. We'll see if he can get the job done. The throw to home plate is not in time.
Johnson able to sneak his hand in there at the last second. Making this a 2-0 ball game.
Colby Johnson scores to make it 2-0. Isaac Phillips due up now. And a little small ball in effect now for Utica here in the bottom of the third to double their advantage.
Man, Childress has been producing. Sack fly brings in Johnson. Really helps when you can rely on your teammates to have that IQ on the base paths, the speed, and overall knowledge of the game and situation.
Count now 1-1 on Phillips, who's known as one of the most athletic guys in the USPBL. Native of Georgia, awaiting a 1-1. Tapper back to the mound, off the glove of Verbrugge. Can De La Cruz recover in time? He cannot. That slips away. Everyone is telling Phillips to utilize that athleticism to second, and he'll get there easily.
Man, we've seen some of those risky plays with infielders still trying to make the throw off balance when it's something like, you know, popped off a mid or a tough play. And really, I think that just makes the situation more dangerous. As you can see there now, runner on second. Curiel wields a good bat.
That's now 2 errors in the third inning for Eastside. Curiel swings the first pitch, cranked it foul over near the bullpen.
Curiel already recorded a single during this game. Normally finds his way on base in some capacity.
This will allow Isaac Phillips to take a free 90 feet as this third gets a little scratchy for Eastside.
With runners on, we've already seen today Verbrugge has struggled to keep the ball close to the zone. You have pretty much 23 inches to work with when you think about the size of the strike zone, home plate.
1-1 pitch to Curiel, swung on and missed. You mentioned his single back in the second. That was his 29th single of the season, which is the second most of any Utica players so far this year.
That's behind Galassi's 32 hits.
Curiel, the fifth batter that Verbrugge has faced in this inning. Galassi was one of them as well. He was a part of that small ball effort to bring in Colby Johnson. This has popped up. They'd love to end the inning here, and Horner makes the catch to do so. So one more crosses the plate for Utica. We've played 3 full innings of baseball here at Jimmy John's Field on a Thursday evening. Verbrugge's pitch count is up to 51. Colton Williams is cruising when we come back.
When people keep repeating that you'll never fall in love, when everybody keeps retreating, but you can't seem to get enough, let my love open the door. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door to your heart, to your heart.
Milk, 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 yeah. Guzzle milk, drink it all. Make a milk waterfall. Cookie milk, stack it tall. Milk with no rhythm at all. Make you run fast milk. Stay awake in class milk. Pour it by the glass milk. Is that a mustache milk? Boom, 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 bass milk. Smile in your face milk. Go for the goal before you know you going all the way milk. Milky high, milky hey. I hope you have a milky day. Live your best life milk. You out this world, Milky Way. Put you on the spot milk. Question, got milk? Show us what you got. Hashtag got milk.
Dunham Sports is a proud partner of the USPBL. Big names, low prices, delivering value since 1937.
Welcome back to the USPBL Network. Jenna Rose alongside Jason Ross Jr. Man, 5 strikeouts on the day so far for Colton Williams. Really displayed that efficiency in the second inning. Also in the third, backed that up. 10 pitches to get through, and he recorded 2 strikeouts and a line out during the third.
Williams has struck out 5 of the last 7 batters that he's faced. Pedro Castellano, Felix Abaret, and Greg Vaughn Jr. A strong 3, 4, 5 will be the 3 due up for Eastside in the top of the 4th. First pitch drifts away from Castellano. Again, Utica in search of their 22nd win of the season today, entering this Thursday night at 21-12. USPBL best record. Here's the 2-0. Draws a swing and a miss. And Utica also hoping to repeat as champs as we head down the final stretch. Playoffs beginning in just a couple of weeks. This is lined hard back up the middle into center field, and Castellano will reach.
Nice poke by Castellano. You could see there that Williams was flirting with the inside-outside corners of the plate. Castellano saw what he wanted and was able to barrel that ball up the middle. And that's something, too, when you look at these guys where you can just tell in their stature that they do have power bats. It's something where putting the ball in play and just relying on that momentum and inertia you create with your swing, that really can pay dividends.
Third hit of the day off Williams. He had retired the last 6 batters that he faced up until that point. Here's Felix Abaret. You'd love for him to step up with nobody on, but that isn't the case this time around for Colton Williams. I mentioned Aberrett went to South Alabama for his college baseball. He met his fiancée there. She was a golfer at the time, so Felix has really been getting into golf lately. The two of them have been in attendance. Felix obviously here as he lines this to short into the glove of Hodo, who's looking to double up here, and it went off the glove of the first baseman Luxka.
Man, we've talked about that range that Curiel has in the shortstop position. We could see he could get his way into the line of fire. With that hard hit off of Aberrett, tries to make the out at first. Unable to do so, but man, just a solid shortstop that the Unicorns have.
One of the best when it comes to that position. He's played a little third at times too this year. Busy in this inning. He'll shovel to second for one. On to first to complete the inning-ending double play. 6-4-3 they go, and Utica wraps it up quickly for Colton Williams, who continues to move along efficiently in this one. His team up 2-0 at the end of 3.5 here at Jimmy John's Field.
I'm all in with HR and Organizational Development Council.
I'm all in with Marketing and Business Development Council.
I'm all in with Operations and Member Experience Council.
I'm all in with CEO Council.
I'm all in with Lending Council.
I'm all in with CFO Council.
I'm all in with Technology Council.
Our credit union is all in with CUNA Councils.
Piloting a hot air balloon is my wife's passion, and she couldn't have a better wingman than my Chevy Equinox. Its stylish design rises above the rest, and with its 4G LTE Wi-Fi plus great gas mileage, Equinox keeps us connected mile after mile. With my Equinox, the sky isn't the limit.
Lease a 2021 Equinox LT for just $277 a month. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com.
Welcome back to the USPBL Network. Remember, you can enter for a chance to win $250 and 4 front row tickets to the championship game. Just text Chevy Detroit to 555-888 or visit ChevyDetroit.com/USPBL for the official rules.
Now it's a very good deal. It's going to be a very good championship game looking at the talent across the USPBL this year. And, you know, $250, that never hurts.
That is true. Would agree with you there, G. Though Verbrugge will step atop the mound once again here.
Mentioned it already, but command and control is going to be very crucial for Verbrugge moving forward. These Unicorns just keep finding their way on base. A lot faster than Lancelot when we've seen him on base. A couple of wild pitches here and there, but dialing into his strengths is going to be so crucial. Again, we're kind of at the point in the season where everyone in the USPBL knows what the pitchers are going to throw and knows the weak spots on these batters. But it comes down to who can hit the ball or who can throw it better.
14 pitches in the first for Verbrugge, 37 over the last 3 innings. Here's the first pitch to Tucker Rayburn. In the 7 spot, he swings at it. De La Cruz on to first. Quick out number 1. Maybe just what Verbrugge needs here in the 4th.
Rayburn getting his barrel on the ball a little late when it was coming in the zone. Made that an easy grounder over there at short for De La Cruz.
Brings up John Hodo once again at second base today, where he's been so comfortable all season long. Native of Chicago. Swings at the first pitch as well. This Utica team is known to be aggressive, especially when it comes to that first pitch. And swinging at pitches early in counts. Here's the 0-1. Something that Hodo told me a couple of weeks ago is that he wanted to be a little more selectively aggressive on swinging at first pitch breaking balls. And Verbrugge, as you noted earlier, G, tends to throw those with his curve. Here's the 1-1.
Well, he's someone who can definitely take notes from Curiel, who is only 2 spots ahead of him in the order here. Curiel is known to swing at the first pitch, but he does so with conviction, and when you can tell he's really into the at-bat.
The 3-1 pitch to Hodo. Little high chopper roaming over as Castellano has to throw across his body, and the speed of Hodo beat out the throw.
Kudos to Castellano for getting the ball in his mitt, but that's hard to throw a little bit on the run. You're following the momentum there, and a bit of a slow throw down to first. But overall, it pays dividends to keep that from going in the outfield to the second line of defense.
Brings up Kevin Lambert. Had a 3-hit game against the Hoppers earlier this season. Colton Horner behind the plate today for Eastside, scoops that pitch up.
Had a solid single against Verbrugge up the middle. Was able to make it to first.
And that was in the 2nd inning.
Yep, and talked about it before. Verbrugge is not shy when it comes to pickoffs at first.
And Hodo's a guy who'll put pressure on you as well whenever he's on the base paths. Speedy guy. Here's the 2-0 to Lambert. Bounces it past over the glove of De Los Santos. Hodo stays at second, and at first arriving is Kevin Lambert.
We're seeing some hard grounders come off of Verbrugge's pitches here for this Unicorns lineup. And he has a solid defense behind him, but it seems like these balls are just coming in hard, or they're kind of finding specific spots on the infield to make it tough to get those outs and make those plays. That'll send Frankie Luxka up to the plate, 0 for 2 on the day.
Verbrugge's first pitch to him is a strike called at 80 miles per hour. Some late break on that pitch. Luxka trying to take advantage here of runners at first and second with less than 2 outs. '60th pitch of the day from Verbrugge is lined into center field. Long run for Ben McConnell. Making the play and throwing to third is Greg Vaughn Jr.
Was able to get Hodo out at third, 2 outs now. But man, we could see that very selective approach by Luxka. He swung at the first pitch, grounded out. And since then, Verbrugge has tried to pound him on that outside corner. But you could see there, just fell a little too sweet over the plate. And Luxka was able to drop that one in for a single.
So now 2 down with runners at first and second. Colby Johnson steps up and fouls the pitch back.
He's someone who has sparked multiple, well, I was going to say rallies, but he sparked multiple at-bats here for the Unicorns previously. Can get the momentum rolling with a solid single. I've seen it in the past.
Johnson swings a little tough hop there for De La Cruz, and they are able to retire the side. The Unicorns get some more traffic on the bases, however, still a 2-0 game after 4 here at Jimmy John's Field.
We're the financial champion of Michiganders. Whether you're a goal-getter or dream chaser, an empty nester or up-and-comer, anyone in Michigan can bank with us. Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union.
Bell's Inspired Brewing, one of our proud sponsors tonight. Don't forget, when it's time for baseball, it's time for beer. Two Hearted Ale has been named the #1 beer in America for the past 4 years by members of the American Homebrewers Association. Play ball with the best. Two Hearted Ale, the iconic American IPA from Bell's Brewery, Comstock, Michigan. Please drink responsibly.
Bobby Comitas makes his way onto the mound here for the Unicorns, pitching in relief for Colton Williams. Diving into his arsenal, what you can potentially see is heavy fastball usage. We'll mix in that 4-seam and 2-seamer. Also has a slider and a splitter and a knuckle curve. So he's definitely giving these batters a different look here for the Diamond Hoppers. Along with the different arsenal, obviously, we're going from a left-handed pitcher to a righty. Makes a major difference.
Two lefties in the Hoppers lineup today, Ben McConnell and Felix Abaret. Joe Burke, though, will lead things off in the number 6 spot, followed by Will Crucena and Christian De Los Santos. As we venture into the middle innings of our 9-inning game tonight here at Jimmy John's Field.
Kamada spent his time at St. Joe's and Creighton University. Still a player that we're learning here in the USPBL, but definitely gives the Unicorns the advantage.
Another one of the late season additions to this Unicorns rotation. We've seen a couple of new faces in the lineup as well for Utica, as they try to make their championship run down the final stretch here.
It's always that fun guessing game of who you think would start, or, which teams do you think is going to make it to the championship game.
That's true. Utica be trying to become just the second team to repeat as champs. The Beavers were the first, albeit just a 5-year history in this league. The Beavers were able to three-peat in 16, 17, and 18 as Burke works a walk here to begin the top of the 5th.
Burke brings a professional at bat with him when he steps up to the box. Made that transition from college to USPBL very well, and he's someone who, in a post-game interview with you, Jason, said that it really did humble him, that transition coming here and facing this kind of talent. But it seems as though he's handled it with flying colors, like the adjustment in velocity, different pitches, and melding together with this team. When he's on, he's become a very crucial bat in the lineup, along with Krishina, who displays pop.
And Burke had quite the career at Kentucky Wesleyan. Career home run record holder with 52. That's also the conference record holder in the Great Midwest Athletic Conference on the D2 level. 126 career RBI as well, which also qualifies as the most of any player in the history of that conference. And has been in a really nice RBI slot in that 6th spot. Krishena struck out looking his first time up. His second time may lead to a ground out and possibly 2 outs here. He beats out the throw, so reaches by way of the fielder's choice. However, Joe Burke is gunned down at second.
He was able to get his barrel on that ball just in time, but that resulted in that grounder down the third base side. Sends Burke back to the dugout.
Christian De Los Santos, native of Miami, Florida, steps into bat now. Was quite the journeyman throughout his life. Played for 3 different colleges: State Fair Community College, Rowan State, before wrapping things up at Indiana Tech in the WAC. 0-1 to him. He is lifted to right center field. Drew Galassi drifting back and making the play. Center fielder with priority, scooting back to first, goes Krushena.
Yep, you know when fly balls are heading out that way in between Glossy and Johnson, the likelihood of them falling is not very high, but Jay, quick update. 9 pitches, 3 strikeouts. Chris Sale throws the 3rd immaculate inning of his career in the 3rd versus the Twins.
Ooh, you were at a notable Chris Sale game.
Yeah, we were just talking about that on the broadcast the other day. JT Martinez came back, smashed that home run.
Mm-hmm. A Tiger's memory of Chris Sale. Maybe not his fondest memory. Adam De La Cruz up to bat now in the 9 spot. With 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Comitas' 13th pitch is lifted up. Glossy nice and busy in the 5th. That'll do it for the top half of the inning. And Utica still with a 2-0 edge over Eastside on a big Thursday night here at Jimmy John's Field.
Throughout your life, from big moments to ones well-earned, we're your financial guardian angel. Alliance Catholic Credit Union.
Attention Michigan, there is absolutely no need to drive all over town searching for new flooring. When the Carpet Guys will come to your house on your schedule, we'll bring our store to your door so you can shop in the comfort and privacy of your own home. And you'll love our huge selection. Buy right now with interest-free financing for up to 4 years. You can carpet your entire home for as little as $11.99 per month. Let the Carpet Guys take the stress out of buying new flooring. Call for a free in-house shopping experience today.
Be wise, call the Carpet Guys at 855 for my guys.
Andrew Verbrugge out to work inning number 5, 63 pitches in to his 8th start of the season.
We're definitely getting at that point in the game, bottom of the 5th here. Interested to see what Verbrugge is able to do with his secondary pitching. Most of these batters, talked about it before, know what Verbrugge is capable of on the mound. Has missed at points in certain zones. Really looking to dial it back in for this Hoppers team. And hopefully at some point, run support will make its way in for Verbrugge and these Hoppers. But right now it comes down to holding the Unicorns, and it's a tall task. And Drew Glossy, who has already made his way to first base once today via walk.
Followed by Noah Childress and Isaac Phillips. The 3, 4, 5 spots in the Utica order here in the 5th. Trying to pad their advantage for Verbrugge's first pitch of the inning. Finds a strike called, 81 miles per hour that time. Mentioned that Colton Williams, the starter for Utica, missed the entire month of July with an injury. Verbrugge was out for the vast majority of July as well for various reasons. Had nearly a month between his June 30th start and July 28th start, initially because he was sent into COVID protocols just due to congestion. Then the next start was rained out. Following start was pushed back due to a tornado warning in the area. Returned in late July. Had a rough start on August 8th. That was his most recent appearance. He allowed a season-high 7 earned runs against a Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers lineup. 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. So a nice dispatching of Glossy to kick things off there in the 5th.
Man, Verbrugge has really found success on that outside part of the plate using his fastball. Struck out Glossy there, 91 miles per hour. Came in through the zone.
Noah Childress, who's gotten the job done in multiple ways today. Single back in the 1st, a sac fly in the 3rd. He likes to swing at the first pitch. It gets behind Verbrugge, and Childress arrives at first. Now 7 singles in his last 10 at-bats.
Man, talk about consistency and power from Childress. Again, at the beginning, we really thought that he was going to be a power bat in this lineup, even made an appearance in the home run derby, but has really shown that he can just time up the ball well, send it with power, and line drives and hard grounders can get the job done.
Isaac Phillips reached second on an error in the third. There were 2 errors for this Hoppers defense in that third inning. That was the frame that cost them the 2 runs that are on the board right now for Utica. Again, Eastside has won 4 out of their last 5. Their loss to Utica last Sunday snapped a 4-game winning streak. 70th pitch of the day for Verbrugge. Little tapper back to him, and it gets right back up the middle again. So back-to-back base hits for Utica.
Man, we've seen a lot of hard grounders make their way up the middle off of Verbrugge today. I mean, again, he tries to get his glove there in time, but that would be an insanely hard play to make. 1 out now, runners on first and second, and the Unicorns doing what they do best, getting runners on. And each part of their lineup has been able to produce.
And Verbrugge now making his 3rd trip through this Utica order. But perhaps starting to adjust to him as Curiel steps up to the plate in that 6th spot. And Verbrugge told us earlier this season, when it comes to 2nd and 3rd time through the order, one of the keys may be 1st or 2nd time through not showing a particular pitch and then bringing that in later on. But this Utica lineup is just so aggressive and up and down. We mentioned the plate discipline, the pitch recognition. They're one of the best when it comes to those categories. And maybe seeing it take hold right now in the 5th. Curiel singled back in the 2nd. Fouls that pitch off. Childress at second base. Isaac Phillips at first.
If the Unicorns were playing defense right now, I'm sure Johnson would have still tried to go for it.
He's probably thinking about it in the dugout.
The Diamond Hoppers have the capability of bouncing back later in the game, but really honing in on their defense is going to be crucial.
Again, we saw a couple of errors back in that 3rd. That was when Utica scored their runs, as that ball is hard hit but foul once again. Curiel's 2-strike approach in effect right now. Has such good plate coverage. As Jenna mentioned, the bat is effective in really any spot of this order. We've seen him make some nice plays at shortstop today. Inside pitch that time, brushed him back. And he strikes out.
Man, that was scary close. It's kind of in those moments it's hard to stop your bat as it's being pounded on the inside.
Just the 2nd strikeout of the day for Verbrugge. Colton Williams went 4 innings for a 2nd consecutive start. He was the starter for Utica. Struck out 5 throughout the course of that tenure. Tucker Rayburn now steps in and takes a first pitch strike, the catcher. Rayburn delivers a liner up the middle into center field. Rounding 3rd and heading home is Childress. The throw to the plate gets away from Horner, and Utica is up 3-0.
Horner goes for the tag without the ball in his mitt. Galassi works to get the ball in quickly. Or excuse me, McConnell works to get the ball in quickly there. But the Unicorns will add to their lead with another run.
An RBI single for Tucker Rayburn. Moves Isaac Phillips over to second base and brings home Noah Childress. Now here comes John Hodo, the second baseman for Utica. Brugge is 81 pitches in. There is movement at the moment in the Hoppers bullpen. Here comes Verbrugge. Able to induce a swing and a miss from Hodo, now 1-1. Hodo said his mentality right now offensively is just continue to be aggressive, hit for high average, hoping to advance the runners here, but he will go down, and that'll do it for the bottom of the fifth. So 3-0 as Utica lead after they cash in on runner in scoring position, and Noah Childress, an RBI single for Tucker Rayburn, pads the lead a bit. We'll step aside on the USPBL network.
First State Bank is a locally owned and operated business. We're part of your community. At fsbcares.com, you'll find ways that we're making a difference by featuring locally owned and operated businesses, providing access to helpful financial resources, and engaging with community. FSBcares.com is part of our commitment to the neighborhood because strong neighbors mean stronger communities.
Where good neighbors do great things.
Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Every summer, my family loves to have a neighborhood movie night in our backyard. And with my Chevy Blazer, I can head out and get everything we need for a great night. It has plenty of room for picking up friends and a cargo management system that keeps all our supplies in place. You know, it may be movie night, but my Blazer is the main attraction, wherever I go.
Lease a 2021 Blazer 2 LT for just $295 a month. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
Back at Jimmy John's Field as day turns to night here in Utica. Our USPBL standings with just 4 games left on the regular season schedule. Utica sits atop the standings as they have for the vast majority of the year. The divisions are broken up east and west. Unicorns are atop the East Division. Diamond Hoppers are right behind them in second in the East, but overall Mammoths on the second place there on the graphic. Beavers in fourth at 12-20. The Hoppers hoping to get to 17-15 today. Utica again hoping to match their win total from a year ago at 22 when they won the championship after finishing the runner-up a year before.
This could be an explosive inning for the Diamond Hoppers. They've already been up against Colton Williams, getting a taste of Camadas now. It's really something where you find that inner drive, Jason, especially when you're down by 3 at this point in the game, heading into the 6th, that you want to make something happen. And each one of these players is able to do so, and it's just more fortuitous that they kick things off in Ben McConnell, hitting .319, leading the team with that batting average, .406 on base percentage, and 10 stolen bases. So speed to back up talent when he's able to get on.
Took over that leadoff spot in early July and hasn't looked back since. Hard liner right to Hodo.
Hodo making it look easy over at second base today. Hard hit off the bat of McConnell. That's always tough to swallow as a batter when you know you timed up the ball well and sent it with power, Jason, and it just goes right to somebody.
And that's an interesting conversation to bring up. I was speaking to Beavers shortstop Eric Santiago last week, and he told me that he'd almost, if you're going to have an out, rather have a hard line out and qualify that as a successful at-bat for the reason you just mentioned there as Colton Horner steps in versus maybe Even getting a soft fluttering single that drops in his words, you get lucky. He wants to have quality at bats time in and time out. So you do take away some positives from that, but at the end of the day, more frustrating than not.
I agree with him 100%.
Yeah.
But knowing me,
the emotions are still there.
It, oh, yeah. I mean, especially, too, when you want to get some runs on the board. You got to say an extra prayer to the baseball gods, you know?
Ah, the baseball gods. They were kind to you back in the day, Jen. Former 564 hitter alongside me today in the booth.
Yeah, they were all right.
Well, Tucker Rayburn comes out to chat with Bobby Comitas there.
You definitely learn a different approach at the plate playing in the Catholic League, as I did in high school, starting with a 1-1 count. So, you know, essentially 2 strikes left to work with. So that translates over into travel ball and that aggression into college.
Interesting.
Pent-up aggression.
Yeah, pent-up aggression. Horner gets underneath an 0-2. Drifting over to make the play is Hodo from second.
Man, Hodo's been busy over there at second base today. Consistently has gotten the job done. And the Hopper's still in search of that spark to get some runs on the board or at least a runner on base.
Pedro Castellano steps in now with 2 down. Bobby Comitas hoping to work a 1-2-3 frame, his second inning of relief work here. He may be able to do just that as he induces some more soft contact. It is indeed a 1-2-3 for Comitas, who's settling in now. Just 18 pitches out of the pen so far, and he keeps his team up 3-0 on the USPBL network.
Bridges, wind farms and pipelines, schools to skyscrapers, our members create monuments. We operate. We're the operators and mechanics behind the advanced heavy machines that move Michigan forward. We maintain boilers and HVAC. Our members run the complex heating and cooling systems that we all depend on. Our training is second to none, and safety is our priority. We are Operating Engineers 324, and we keep Michigan running.
Check your checking. If your account doesn't get you pumped, amped, or geeked, make the switch to Genius Checking from Genesis Credit Union. It's just genius.
Look at Will Buraconic taking over on the mound for Eastside. Native of Farmington Hills, Michigan, just about 40 minutes away from here in Utica. He will take the reins in the bottom of the 6th for Andrew Verbrugge, who lasted 5 today. His starting counterpart, Colton Williams, went 4 innings of work. Still very much anyone's game, just a 3-run difference after Utica tacked one on in the 5th.
Konak coming in with an ERA of 1.86. As you said, Jay, making his way from Indiana State University. And also, we saw him previously in the Pecos League with the Monterey Amberjacks. So definitely has had some professional ball under his belt before heading here to play for the Hoppers.
Kevin Lambert will be the leadoff batter here in the bottom of the 6th for Utica. Out of the 9 spot, playing third base today. Lambert was born in Florida, then lived in Honduras for 5 years, Connecticut for 10. Now he spends most of his time back in Florida. Swings at that pitch, count now 1-1. His mom's side of the family is from Honduras. That's why he lived there for 5 years. Located in Central America, just south of Mexico. 1-1 pitch. Floats up and away. And played his freshman year of high school baseball in Connecticut, sophomore in Virginia, junior and senior year in Florida. So he's well traveled. First time playing in Michigan. He has a 2-2 count here. Notice how they got further south, Connecticut, Virginia, Florida, just get warmer and warmer.
Don't say that right now. It's a little chilly in here. Are we just kind of getting a bit of the wind?
Coming from this window in the booth, I believe. Yeah, a little breezy as Lambert goes down swinging.
Yeah, I can see the flags in the outfield are just kind of starting to get some movement on them.
Turns the order over to Frankie Luxka. Batting .212 entering today. One of the guys who's been in the lineup throughout the course of the season, his 33rd start in the Unicorns lineup today. Most of those have come at the top in that leadoff spot. 0-1 pitch brushes him back a bit.
Luxka did not like that one. In previous conversations with him, I noted this before, Jay, but what he really admires about his approach is that he can see the delivery of the ball very well to identify what pitch is coming his way.
Takes a strike there. I love the quote he had with us earlier in the season. Said his favorite part about baseball is that he's learning something new every day, being able to learn and see new things on a daily basis. Just never stops trying to get better. Has had his ups and downs throughout the year. 1-2 is high. Told us his baseball journey has been crazy. Lightly recruited coming out of high school. Had 2 offers. Madonna was one of them. Cracked the lineup as a freshman. Hit a homer within his first 4 games. From that point on, he was a mainstay in their lineup. Count now 2-2. With Birkanak 10 pitches into his relief appearance.
I do love watching his at-bats, though. He's very calm in the box, very confident, has great plate discipline.
Second consecutive batter to go down swinging there as he was able to chase the pitch outside, and Birkanak quickly adds 2 Ks into the books.
Yeah, Birkanak and Verbrugge were really working on that outside corner there against Luxka, finding success. Was not able to make his way, only made his way down to first once this game.
Brings up Colby Johnson in the 2 spot.
Yep, Johnson 0 for 3 on today's contest. Fielder's choice.
Big violent hack there. Count now 1-1 on Johnson. Early on in the season, we were told the defensive part of the game is where his development was still taking place, but he's really taken strides in right field since July. 1-1. Now he's been a consistent bat in the lineup as well. Utica's really shifted around this lineup over the past week or so, kind of rediscovering the offense that we've seen throughout the course of the season. Trying out Johnson in the 2 spot today, back to the normal 3 and 4 of Galassi. Luxka was actually in the 8 spot last weekend before moving back to the leadoff spot. Here's the 1-2 to Johnson. Slowly on the ground. De La Cruz on to first in time. So a 1-2-3 inning for Birakanak out of the bullpen. Still anyone's game, a 3-0 advantage for Utica here at Jimmy John's Field.
So I was snowboarding in Lach, Switzerland at a snowboard competition, and I did basically 2 flips and 1 rotation coming out of it.
David had a bad injury to his shoulder and unfortunately was unable to continue doing what he liked to do sports-wise.
I knew I was going to be out of commission for a little bit.
We were able to do surgery, do this arthroscopically, do this outpatient, minimally invasive.
The sports medicine team at Ascension, Michigan really helped me get back to soccer and working out, but also my main goal, competing at a global snowboarding competition.
Attention Michigan, there is absolutely no need to drive all over town searching for new flooring. When the Carpet Guys will come to your house on your schedule, we'll bring our store to your door so you can shop in the comfort and privacy of your own home. And you'll love our huge selection. Buy right now with interest-free financing for up to 4 years. You can carpet your entire home for as little as $11.99 per month. Let the Carpet Guys take the stress out of buying new flooring. Call for a free in-house shopping experience today.
Be wise, call the Carpet Guys at 855 for my guys.
Look at Bobby Komitas stepping atop the mound for Utica once again here in the top of the 7th. The pitching for the Unicorns is what led them to a championship a year ago, had the lowest combined team ERA in the USPBL, and it's really picking back up with the starting arms and the relief pitchers for them down the final stretch here. Again, Zach Jones pitched a complete game last Sunday in a 5-3 win over Eastside. Colton Williams got the start today for Utica, went 4 innings. And now Komitas hoping to bridge the gap to the back end of the bullpen here.
Yep, Zach Jones on the mound now for the Unicorns. Has an ERA of 1.05. And we talked about it before, 7 of innings work in his last start. Was very productive there on the mound for the Unicorns. Coming in for Komitas. And it'll really set the tone of his relief appearance here, going up against Aberrett, whose bat has been more on the quiet side today, able to draw a walk, lined out to short. But it'll be a confidence boost moving forward, retiring one of the more potent bats in this Hoppers lineup.
Zach Jones' first pitch. Comes into Felix Aberrett. Tad high. Jones out of the Citadel. That's where he played his senior season before taking part in a USPBL tryout back in June. We've seen him utilized as both a bullpen pitcher and a starter so far this month.
Jason, have you ever seen Rick and Morty?
I have not.
So there's just like the silly thing in there. It's like the Citadel, and it's like the Citadel of Ricks. And you'll have to watch it. It's a funny show, but like,
I know
the word
of it.
Citadel just doesn't seem real to me.
Okay.
I guess because of the first time I heard it was in the show. So I guess Rick and Morty fans will get it, but you should tune in.
I should. Jones had an interesting end to his experience at the Citadel. He is, well,
It just doesn't sound real.
the 3-1 is on the ground, hard to third, gathering it as Lambert, cross to first in time.
Lambert keeps his composure. Man, it has to be hard manning that hot corner, Jason, giving some of the exit velocities that we see in this league. Coming at you quick on the corners in this infield.
Brings up Greg Vaughn Jr. I mentioned Jones had an interesting end to his experience at the Citadel. Wasn't totally satisfied with his senior year, so he started taking part with a company called Shred, which is a pitching development company. And not knowing whether or not he'd have a spot on a team at the conclusion of the season, Vaughn Jr. swings the first pitch, another hard-hit ball, but another ground out. And then he got, the invitation to the USPBL tryout, was one of 6 players selected. Has really settled in since then. Lowest ERA of any starter on the Unicorn staff, entering that complete game on Sunday. Here's the 0-1. Jones working quickly. Now against Joseph Burke, who walked his last time up.
Jones is very efficient when he's on the mound, but sometimes he'll dangle that leg just a little longer in his delivery, and that can be pretty deceptive, or at least throw off a batter's timing.
Jones working 1-2 to Burke. There's that kind of hitch in his delivery where he holds the leg up a little longer.
Burke able to foul it off to stay alive. A lot can happen on 2 outs, Jay.
We've seen 2-out magic from both of these teams throughout the season. Jones, the Illinois native, 2-seam fastball, slider change. Here's the 1-2. Couldn't quite find the outside corner. He's commanded all of those pitches so well throughout the course of the year. The curveball is a pitch he's trying to add on, but said it isn't quite there yet. A little soft liner will get down. Jones has to cover the bag and does. So 3 up, 3 down for Zach Jones in the top of the 7th. And now time for our 7-inning sing-along. Brought to you by Genesis Credit Union. Here we go. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back, for it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. We rehearsed prior to the broadcast today, and I hope everyone liked it. No, it didn't.
There's nothing better than a ball game at Jimmy John's Field and a cold beer from Midland Brewing Company. Hi, I'm Kyle, the head brewer at Midland Brewing Company, here to wish you a stellar time making memories at Jimmy John's Field. And we hope that you're living it up with a Copper Harbor Ale in your cup. You can find more of our selections here at the ballpark and around town at your favorite bottle shops too. We hope you have a ball at the game, and remember, enjoy responsibly. Let's play ball.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How are they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
Burakunik on the mound now for the Hoppers.
Facing Drew Galassi in the number 3 spot of the Utica order, followed by Noah Childress and Isaac Phillips. Burakunik worked to 1, 2, 3, 6th. Zach Jones of Utica followed it up with a 1, 2, 3 top half of the 7th out of the bullpen. Seeing arms utilized in different ways down the final month. Jones normally a starter, but having a relief appearance tonight. Galassi walked back in the first, a flyout and a strikeout since.
Two now on Galassi. Unicorns really looking for that display of power that we saw earlier in the season. Did have a deep flyout today to center.
2-2 pitch. Count runs full now. Unicorns with a 3-run edge. Scored 2 back in the 3rd inning. 2 Eastside errors helped out at that point in the game. Then Utica added 1 more on in the 5th. Galassi grounds that. It is fair and scooped up by Burke. He'll take it to the bag himself for out number 1.
Easy out there for Burke, manning first base today for the Hoppers. That'll send up Noah Childress. 7 for 10 so far, last couple of at-bats.
Childress out of Lourdes University swings at the first pitch and lifts it back. Coaches have always felt he's had very fast hands. Just naturally played football, basketball, and baseball growing up. Said he didn't really have any other baseball players in the family. It's just, in his words, a challenge that he fell in love with, which I love. Here's the 0-1. Told me there's no feeling quite like hitting a baseball. You hit a baseball off me earlier today over on the wiffle ball field.
Wiffle ball, yeah. It felt pretty good. Sounded good.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah.
We have video of that you might be able to find on the broadcast tomorrow. Little incentive to tune in to tomorrow's game. Oh, Childress goes down swinging. That's been a rarity of late. And a quick 2 outs for Burakunik.
Yeah, that definitely is a pretty rare sighting, especially 3 strikes in a row there for Childress. Burakunik certainly has a game plan heading into this appearance.
And Burakunik does have the swing and miss stuff. That's already strikeout number 3 through 5 batters faced. Isaac Phillips steps in now. 1-1 counts on him. One pitch. Phillips fouls it back. This Utica team has only lost consecutive games once so far this season throughout the course of 34 played. Just really picked up right where they left off a season ago, winning the championship under Jim Essie and their manager. Paul Nochi managing Eastside. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Make it strikeout number 4 and consecutive 1, 2, 3 frames for Burakunik out of the bullpen. We'll head to the 8th when we come back in Utica.
When people keep repeating that you'll never fall in love, when everybody keeps retreating, but you can't seem to get enough. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door to your heart. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door to your heart.
At Fifth Third Bank, we're working hard to make banking a Fifth Third better, which means we put 166.7% into everything we do.
I think you can only give 110%.
Well, with free checking, fraud protection services, and an automatic savings tool to help you quickly reach your goals, 166.7% is possible.
Oh, wait till my 8th graders hear about this. They're gonna be like, it's not possible. Well, yes it is.
This is banking, a Fifth Third better.
Jack Ferguson takes the mound now for the Unicorns. Has an ERA just under 1 through 21 1/3 innings of work. 4-1 so far on the season. A very interesting delivery here for Ferguson. Has a bit of submarine action going on. But we've continuously seen different looks on the mound here for these Unicorn arms. Going from a lefty to a righty and now to a submarine lefty.
Pitch from Madonna University. And that's such a tough angle from the hitter perspective when you do have those submarine-style pitchers, especially when they break over the heart of the plate at kind of the last minute. Will Krushena will step in here.
0 for 2 on the day with a fielder's choice. Really looking to make something happen, and he's someone who can do it. A lot of pull side power when he lines the ball well. It goes. It's just very tough as a hitter to constantly be making adjustments when you're seeing different arms come your way, different arsenals paired with that.
Fourth different pitcher we've seen for Utica so far today as we venture now into the top of the 8th. The bottom third of this Eastside lineup, 7, 8, 9, combined 0 for 6 today. Krushena in the 7th spot, playing in right field. Count now 2-2.
Krushena able to foul off that inside pitch there. Like we talked about, that delivery is pretty hard to read when you're in the batter's box.
You mentioned the inside pitch. Krushena told me earlier this season the inside pitch is something he wanted to work on adjusting to. There's another one that breaks over the heart of the plate. He said that pitchers over the last year or so began to work him inside, and he likes to try to spray the ball to all fields. Has done well off left-handed pitching so far this season. Was hitting .500 off lefties entering last week, versus a little over .200 against right-handers.
But with Krushena, too, it's really important to swing at good pitches. So far has 18 strikeouts on the season, only 3 walks. So plate discipline is very key in that battle, too. And so far he has been able to foul off those inside pitches, so he can try and work that opposing arm to kind of send that ball a little more over the plate or a little more outside where he likes it.
Watch the last pitch skip in the dirt. Count runs full. Lifts the 3-2 to right field. Colby Johnson is there to make the play.
Kudos to Krushena for working that at bat, though. Able to get some balls in there, foul off a couple from Ferguson. Always hard with the pitching swap. But that was one of his harder hits today here at the USPBL.
Brings up Christian De Los Santos in the 8th spot.
Yeah, was previously having trouble with Verbrugge's curveballs. Struck out looking in the 2nd. Or I'm sorry, not off of Verbrugge, Williams.
Ahead 2-0 in the count here. And the vast majority of hitters in the USPBL so far this season have struggled against the breaking pitches. The guys who've really been able to separate themselves have been the ones who do find the success off the curveballs, the change-ups that we've seen so far out of pitchers this year. De Los Santos with 11 RBIs this season. Nobody on base for him now. However, as Eastside tries to spark some sort of a rally here in the 8th, he does reach by way of the walk. Brings up Adam De La Cruz. Ben McConnell still due up in this inning as well.
Hey, having productive at-bats is very key at this moment in the game. It can be very pivotal. Wow.
It's getting late. We're in the 8th inning.
We are in the 8th inning, yes. I should have stretched a little more during the 7th inning there. But you're at a very crucial point in the game, is what I was trying to say, and having those productive at-bats, quality at-bats, and getting on is very key.
Adam De La Cruz in the batter's box right now has been getting on far more than he did in the month of July. Didn't collect a hit in July until the 28th of the month. But after that, pieced together a 7-game on-base streak. And the month of August has been far more consistent. Count now 1-1 on De La Cruz. Works in the ballpark on his off days. Native of the Bronx, New York. Second-year USPBL player. And he's fallen behind 1-2 here. Told me his love for the game started with his family. His family's from the Dominican Republic. Said baseball just runs deep in our blood. 1-2 pitch taken inside. The USPBL found him while he was playing in a collegiate summer league in Canada. He received a text from Unicorns manager Jim Essian, who needed an infielder. He's become a mainstay at short in the absence of Juan Lopez Rios. Here's 2-2. Fouls it off.
De La Cruz doing his best to stay in the game here, fouling off pitches from Jones.
De La Cruz said he's been working on swinging at better pitches. He noted the quality pitching in this league. Unicorns certainly have it. It's an slow developing play here. They will get one. However, De La Cruz reaches by way of the fielder's choice.
Next up, the center fielder, number 2, Ben McConnell.
So now runner on first still, and Ben McConnell steps up to bat. Had a single in the first. Line outs his last 2 times up.
McConnell could be the bat to get the ball rolling here for the Hoppers. Runner on first base. We've seen already that McConnell normally finds his way to first, has a strong ability to draw walks, especially as of late. Has 22 to his name on the season.
Jack Ferguson's 1-1. Make it 1-2. Ferguson stayed at home for his college baseball, native of Livonia, Michigan, where Madonna is. Ben McConnell delivers his 1-2 high up in the air. Luxka there to make the play for out number 3. So this Utica pitching staff continues to roll from arm to arm to arm and hoping to wrap it up with a combined shutout. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th when we come back. on the USPBL network, as Eastside is down to their final 6 outs here in this one.
Attention Michigan, there is absolutely no need to drive all over town searching for new flooring. When the Carpet Guys will come to your house on your schedule, we'll bring our store to your door so you can shop in the comfort and privacy of your own home. And you'll love our huge selection. Buy right now with interest-free financing for up to 4 years. You can carpet your entire home for as little as $11.99 per month. Let the Carpet Guys take the stress out of buying new flooring. Call for a free in-house shopping experience today.
Be wise, call the Carpet Guys at 855 for my guys. I'm all out of love for my old insurance. Switch to insurance. They're saving me so much. They covered my car and bundled with my home. I feel so secure to say I love insurance.
Hello, AAA Insurance.
Goodbye, insurance. Hello.
Insurance.
Get a quote and save up to 20%.
Right-hander Hayden Pierce now takes the mound for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. It's a .69 ERA, coming in with 30 1/3 innings of work under his belt. 4-1 record, has allowed 19 hits, 6 runs. Was really a part of a strong tandem with the other Pierce on this staff.
Pierce Banks.
Yep, and both of them during that outing recorded 12 strikeouts. 8 of those came by way of Hayden Pierce, pitching in relief for Pierce Banks. So really someone who has shown that when he comes into a game, he brings his best stuff and can really keep opposing batters off their game, off their rhythm. And I just always enjoy that individualistic approach that comes with pitching, the strategy when you're going up against opposing bats. But obviously there is that factor that you have to rely on your defense behind you. Makes it easier on your arm when you're inducing ground outs, weak contact. Instead of trying to make strikeouts, but that's how Pierce has been operating, and he's been doing so with flying colors. And run support is obviously a must. The Diamond Hoppers are going to have one more crack at it at the top of the 9th, but now it's all unicorns with Donovan Curiel leading off. 1 for 3 in today's game with a single.
Curiel is followed by Tucker Rayburn and John Hodo. Pierce out of the University of Pacific in California, able to induce a swing and a miss on his fellow California native, Donovan Curiel.
You know, I always forget how big California is.
Yeah, it's large.
Yeah, it's like, it's not Michigan. Like, there's...
No. Do you think 2 Michigans could fit? No, I don't know.
I think more than 2 Michigans.
2 Michigans? Yeah, that is true. Maybe 3, 4 Michigans. This is 0-1 lifted into shallow, just underneath, and making the play there is Pedro Castellano over from his second base position.
Yeah, it's okay if you guys at home turn off the volume on this broadcast. But before you do that, happy birthday to Bruce Peppers, who's joining us on the live stream, the USPBL Network on YouTube. Happy birthday, Bruce. Hope it's a good one. Malik Blaze, big Hodo fan, making the comment in all caps earlier today. Plenty of exclamation points.
Brings up Tucker Rayburn, just 2 pitches into the relief outing of Pierce, and the third is gloved by a sliding stop on the part of De La Cruz. Beautiful effort, but not quite in time.
What a nice stop by De La Cruz, really showcasing his range and the aggressiveness that he has as a shortstop. Talked about it before, you want to do everything you can to keep that ball from going to your second line of defense and your outfielders. And gets the job done, and what a stellar throw down to first too. 1 hop easy snag for Burke over there, but just doesn't get there in time. He was pretty deep, he was out in the grass.
Brings up John Hodo in the 8th spot.
Hodo 1 for 3 today with a single and an RBI. Probably would have been cleaner if I said RBI single, huh?
It's however you feel
However I
you want to
feel.
word it. It's
Yeah, just rearrange the vernacular of baseball. Just another typical Thursday night.
just the bottom of the 8th comment. It's okay. Another grounder. They're looking for 2, and they find it. A 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. We'll step aside on the USPBL network.
Piloting a hot air balloon is my wife's passion, and she couldn't have a better wingman than my Chevy Equinox. Its stylish design rises above the rest, and with its 4G LTE Wi-Fi plus great gas mileage, Equinox keeps us connected mile after mile. With my Equinox, the sky isn't the limit.
Lease a 2021 Equinox LT for just $277 a month. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com.
I'm all in with HR and Organizational Development Council.
I'm all in with Marketing and Business Development Council.
I'm all in with Operations and Member Experience Council.
I'm all in with CEO Council.
I'm all in with Lending Council.
I'm all in with CFO Council.
I'm all in with Technology Council.
Our
credit union is all in with CUNA Councils.
Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door to your heart.
Look at Brandon Krenrich coming out to try to close this win for Utica. 3-0 advantage right now, and Hoppers down to their final 3 outs in the top of the 9th. Don't forget we have our Auto Lab post-game show coming up. Jenna Rose is heading down now. Krenrich looking to pick up the save.
Leading off on the Eastside, Diamond Hoppers, the catcher number 4, Colton Horner.
And Colton Horner will lead things off for Eastside in this inning, followed up by Pedro Castellano and Felix Sabaret. Krenrich's first pitch of the 9th finds a strike. If Krenrich can close this out in clean fashion, it would be the first time that Eastside has been shut out since July 3rd. So nearly 2 months since that's happened. And that shutout loss came against this Utica team. They actually had 2 shutout losses on that day to Utica, 6-0 and a 1-0. And again, Utica's 8-3 against the Hoppers so far this season, hoping to make it 9-3. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Krenrich. Laced foul. And this potential shutout loss, if Krenrich does close it out, would again come after that 4-game winning streak for Eastside when the offense was really lighting things up. Scored at least 4 runs in each of those games. A couple of 5-6 run games in there as well. Horner lines this to center field, carrying Galassi back a bit, but he'll make the play. Brings up Pedro Castellano. Again, Utica hoping to match last year's win total at 22. With a win tonight, they could do it. Pedro Castellano is the son of Pedro Castellano Sr., who played for the Rockies back in the mid-90s. Here's the 1-0 pitch, floats outside. Pedro's family is from Venezuela. They moved from Venezuela to Mexico when Pedro was 10. Lived in Florida as well. Castellano began his college career at Central Florida before transferring to Southeastern University after an injury. Told me the primary lesson he learned from his dad is just be you. Don't try to overdo it. Be yourself and relax. And, of course, having fun is always a part of the mentality as well. Here comes the 3-0 as Castellano has a hitter's count. He draws a 4-pitch walk. Brings up the home run threat in Felix Sabaret. Second time today he stepped up to bat with a runner on base. His 8 homers are tied for the league lead with Drew Galassi. Abaret's bat has been as hot as it gets over the past few weeks. He's hoping to capitalize here in the top of the 9th with his team down to their final 2 outs. Krenrich, his first pitch to him, is swung on and fouled back a tad late there. Talked about Castellanos' extra base power and Abaret's extra base power. This Hoppers team leads the USPBL in homers and triples. Triples have been such a rarity in this league so far this year. Hoppers actually have 3 of them. Greg Vaughn Jr. has 2. He's due up next. And Vaughn Jr. could be due for a hit. 0 for 2 on the day. 0-2 count for Krenrich. Here's the pitch. Couldn't quite find strike 3. Count now 1-2. After walking Castellano on 4 pitches. Into the heart of this East Side order. Hoppers down 3 runs. 12th pitch from Krenrich. Swung on and missed. There's out number 2. Brings up, as I mentioned, Greg Vaughn Jr. The last chance for Eastside to try to extend this 9th inning. Again, we have our Autolab postgame show coming up. And Vaughn Jr. is hoping to push that back a bit. He's quickly ahead, 2-0 in the count. As Jenna mentioned earlier in the broadcast, such a good all-around hitter. 26 walks entering today. Here's the 2-0. Swung on and missed. Most of Vaughn Jr.'s power has come to left field so far this year, where he's hit the ball over the fence 4 times. Runner at first, the 2-1 pitch. Krenrich now falls behind 3-1. Again, it was a 4-pitch walk to Castellano. And there's strike 2. Vaughn Jr. didn't agree with it. Count runs full. Greg will tell you that should have been walk number 27 of the season. However, instead, Hoppers are down to their final out and final strike. Here's the payoff. That is down and away. A clear walk, second walk of this frame. Brings up Joseph Burke, who represents the tying run, as the Hoppers try to get some 2-out magic rolling here in the top of the 9th, down 3 runs. It's the Hoppers team that began the day with back-to-back base hits in the first. Couldn't capitalize. Then Colton Williams went on that run of retiring 7 consecutive batters, gave way to the bullpen that has been excellent for Utica in this game. But 2 walks from the man they're hoping to be the closer today, Brandon Krenrich, has made it a little interesting here in the top of the 9th with 2 outs. Another 1-0 count. Here's Burke. Takes a strike. Count now even at 1 apiece. Called Felix Abaret a power threat. Same applies to Joe Burke in this RBI slot. Again, 52 career home runs in college, the most of any player in the history of the great Midwest Athletic Conference on the D2 level. Hit .305 with a team-leading 9 homers and 40 RBI his senior season at Kentucky Wesleyan. He's awaiting a big 1-2 pitch here. Cranks it foul. Greg Vaughn Jr. at first. Pedro Castellano at second. Brandon Krenrich on the mound, hoping to close it out. Here's the 1-2. Popped up. It'll get back into the stands as Burke extends this at bat. At least one more pitch. Eastside coming on late in this season, 16-5. Utica at 21-12. Here's the pitch. On the ground, ranging over from third is Lambert. To first, 22nd win of the season for the Unicorns. Most in the USPBL, and Krenrich gives a big hug to his catcher, Tucker Rayburn, as they're able to wrap up this win on a Thursday night to kick off the USPBL weekend, final weekend in August. We have our Autolab postgame show coming up after the shutout win for the Unicorns.
If I hit a home run, then you know what's going out of the park. Yeah, bases loaded, we ain't letting up. Scoring back to back, you can count it up. United we stand together, divided we fall. Ain't no turning back, we done came too far to farther, turn around and have a seat now. We don't compare, cause we unicorns. Illuminate the dark with my uniform. Every time you see me stand up and salute me, it ain't no competition, not even from you. If I hit a home run, then you know what's going out of the park. Yeah, bases loaded, we ain't letting up. Scoring back to back, you can count it up. United we stand together, divided we fall. Ain't no turning back, we done came too far to turn around and have a seat now. We don't compare, cause we unicorns. Illuminate the dark with my uniform. Every time you see me stand up and salute me, it ain't no competition, not even from you.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
Ascension Michigan Sports Medicine, we're here to treat any athlete, any injury that you might have, whether that's at the high school, the college level, or the professional level, or whether that's you just want to stay active and keep fit. And we do that through a whole journey. And you're going to see us for diagnosis with imaging. We can also do some physical therapy, which we have all of that. And we can do all the way up to the OR if you need surgery and getting you recovered as well. There's no reason to delay your care. You can get in to see us just as easily as you can see a primary care doctor. And when you do come to see us, we have all the precautions in place to keep you safe.
Milk, 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 yeah. Guzzle milk, drink it all. Make a milk waterfall. Cookie milk, stack it tall. Milk with no rhythm at all. Make you run fast milk. Stay awake in class milk. Pour it by the glass milk. Is that a mustache milk? Boom, 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 base milk. Smile in your face milk. Go for the goal before you know you going all the way milk. Milky high, milky hay. I hope you have a milky day. Live your best life milk. You out this world, Milky Way. Put you on the spot milk. Question, got milk? Show us what you got. Hashtag got milk.
Piloting a hot air balloon is my wife's passion, and she couldn't have a better wingman than my Chevy Equinox. Its stylish design rises above the rest, and with its 4G LTE Wi-Fi plus great gas mileage, Equinox keeps us connected mile after mile. With my Equinox, the sky isn't the limit.
Lease a 2021 Equinox LT for just $277 a month. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com.
We're the financial champion of Michiganders. Whether you're a goal-getter or dream chaser, an empty nester, or up-and-comer, anyone in Michigan can bank with us. Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union.
Dunham Sports is a proud partner of the USPBL. Big names, low prices, delivering value since 1937.
So I was snowboarding in Lach, Switzerland at a snowboard competition, and I did basically 2 flips and 1 rotation coming out of it.
David had a bad injury to his shoulder and unfortunately was unable to continue doing what he liked to do sports-wise.
I knew I was going to be out of commission for a little bit.
We were able to do surgery, do this arthroscopically, do this outpatient, minimally invasive.
The sports medicine team at Ascension, Michigan really helped me get back to soccer and working out, but also my main goal, competing at a global snowboarding competition.
Welcome to the AutoLab post-game show. We are now joined by our Rochester University player of the game, Utica Unicorns designated hitter, Noah Childress. Noah, 3-zip win here at Utica. Oh my goodness, I was at Comerica Park. Here for the Unicorns, but we have to dive into your performance. Throughout your last 11 at-bats, you've recorded 7 hits. Why have you been so successful at the plate?
I've just tried to be short, sweet to the ball, stop doing so much. I don't need to do that much, and just have fun. That's the biggest thing, is just have fun.
You had a single, a sacrifice fly that scored Johnson for the second run of the game. Going into today's matchup, you knew you were going against Verbrugge, and he has a specific game plan for each batters. I mean, for Galassi and Luxka, he liked to work them outside, really utilizes that curveball for his secondary. What weaknesses of your own when you stepped into the boxes you realized that he might try to pinpoint?
I know that he likes to come with off speed a lot, likes to locate the changeup, and my game plan was just to hit the fastball, anything that was over the plate, and I did, and just put barrels on balls was the best thing to do.
And your pitching staff kept the Hoppers from scoring a single run here tonight. We saw a slew of arms come in. What do you have to say about their performance?
Our pitchers are just solid all around. We have a full staff of guys that can just pound the zone and get outs, and they do their job, and that's why we are the best. That's who we are. So.
And in previous games, we've seen you man the hot corner today, coming in as a designated hitter. Do you like that aspect? Does that alleviate some pressure for you, not having that defensive side of it and focusing on hitting, or how do you feel about that switch?
I like it, just anywhere I'm in the lineup. So it doesn't really matter to me. I just starting to get a little more comfortable now, but it doesn't really matter. I'm having fun regardless.
And it's a really fun lineup to watch when we're looking at the Utica Unicorns. There's power throughout, very potent. How are you guys going to build on this momentum moving forward as championship weekend approaches?
We're just very excited. Everybody's happy. We're all just communicating well, and we're having fun ultimately. And so I think the hitting will just continue, and I think we'll get the ring.
Well, certainly a fun crew to watch. Noah, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us here on the USPBL Network. We'll see you tomorrow.